So we have seen that spaces may or may not be connected, but if they are not connected, this is a rather simple example which we have seen, they can be broken up into pieces that are connected components. It gets more complicated with things like, say, the rational numbers and so on. Okay. But we can always decompose them in a very nice way based on what we saw previously. Okay, so namely, so let's fix X as topological space, and with somewhat ad hoc notation for X in X. So you define the connected component, and we'll justify why it can be called this, but I'll just give a definition. Connected component of X to be, we'll write it as Cx. It's the union of all the sets, let's call them whatever, A in X, such that X is in A and A is connected. So we look at all connected sets that contain X. Of course, if X itself, capital X, is connected, then this is all of X. Okay, so it's the union of these sets. So the first thing to note is that Cx is connected. This is because of the earlier criterion, because all these, as all the sets A above, they contain X, contain the given point X, and are connected. So we saw that if we take a union of connected sets, each of which contain a common point, then the result is connected. So this is nice. This is connected, and also by definition, A is contained in X, X in A. Suppose we have X in A and A is connected. So if I have a set here, then A is contained in Cx. That's the definition of union. So this is the maximal. So that is Cx is the maximal connected set containing the point X. So so again, containment is a partial order. You could say containing the point X. So there need not be a maximal element a priori, but there is a maximal element which is necessarily unique, and it's Cx. It's the union of all of these. So the non-trivial point here is what we proved, that if we take the union, we could always take such a union. This is itself connected. So then that is what gives us the maximal element. Okay, now further, suppose we have another point and it's contained in Cz. So suppose we have Z contained in Cx. Okay. Then what we know is that as Cx is connected, by the maximality of Cz, we know Cx is contained in Cz. Okay. So this implies that X in particular is in Cz. Okay. So now, as Cz is connected, we see that Cz is contained in Cx. So thus Cz is Cx. So I have the connected component of X, and any point in it, the connected component of that point is the same. This is what should happen by maximality, and one can arrange the proof in different ways. So here what we argued is that if you have any point Z, then Cx, this connected component, is a connected set containing Z, so it is in the connected component of Z. And hence in particular it contains the point, hence in particular the point X is in this connected component. And so then the symmetric argument will tell you that Cz is in Cx, so these two are equal. Okay, so in particular, so if Cz intersections, or let me say Cy intersection Cx is non-empty, then if Z is in Cy intersects Cx intersection Cy, two different connected components, then Cx is Cz is Cy. Okay, so thus connected components form a partition of X. So X really breaks up into connected components, so that if you have two components are either equal and their union, so this forms a partition. Well, how do we know this? Because as X is in the connected component as X for all X in X. So every point is in its own connected component, so it's in some connected components. Okay, and these are the connected components. These are the maximal connected sets. Okay, so this is the thing we saw. Let's look at a couple of examples now. So things can be decomposed very nicely into connected set components. Sometimes you don't have to at all. So suppose we take example R. Okay, so the R is connected, hence one component. Now we'll see some more examples which are also by themselves connected. Okay, so 0, 1, well, is connected. There's more than one way to prove this, but one way of proving it, which is illuminating, is connectedness is a topological property, as 0, 1 is homeomorphic to R. Okay, how about half open intervals? So in general, so also AB is connected if A is less than B. Again, for the same reason, you're homeomorphic to R. And if you're empty, you're connected for vacuous reasons. How about closed interval? This is connected as AB bar is AB. And how about half interval? So this is closure in R. But we don't have to take closure in R. If I have a half open interval and the other one works, connected as, if I take this to be X, as X equals A bar, where A contained in X is the open interval AB. So if I take the open interval AB not as a subset of R, but as the subset of the half open interval, then its closure is going to be these. So these were examples of connected sets. We could have seen them even earlier before we looked at connected components, but we didn't, so this gives a set of examples. And how about something which is not at all connected? Well, a couple of them. One is the rational numbers. Here, connected components are points. Okay, so this is worth a proof. So if A contained in Q is connected and A is not empty and A is not a point, then there are at least 2 points in A, right? Then there exists A comma B in A with little a less than little b. Okay, so now you pick C in AB, but avoid rational points. There is always an irrational number between two rational numbers. So pick C, which is AB, and remove the rational numbers. Then A is going to be equal to AC intersection. So the rational points. A is contained in Q, so it's the rational points intersection. That's not a good way of saying it. Let me put it better, because A may not be all the rational numbers. It's A intersection AC, disjoint union with A intersection CB. The reason is that the point I've omitted C is irrational, so it's not in A. So if you miss even a single point, then you're not connected. We'll use this when we talk about the real line with intermediate value theorem. So this is contradicting connectedness. Another of the cases in mathematics where contradiction was unnecessary. You could have just proved a direct statement that any set with at least 2 points of rational numbers is not connected. So connected components are connected, so they're just single points. Okay. Another example is in the Cantor set. Okay. Okay. Connected components are points. Well, what is the reason? Remember what we did with the Cantor set? We took an interval here, we threw away this part, and then inside this, at the next stage, you took subintervals. Okay. So what we have is, note that k is going to be sigma a n 2an by 3 to the n, such that whatever condition is possible, and suppose a is contained in k, and so we have two different points, sigma 2an by 3 to the n and sigma 2bn by 3 to the n belong to A. Okay. These are separated. I'm not going to write down a formal proof. We can take it as an exercise, but what can be quite easily formalized is A and B split off from each other somewhere. So maybe A1 was B1, but A2 was this point and B2 was this point. Okay, so A1, so if we have at least two distinct points, then somewhere one of them will be below the other, and we might as well say AI is below the BI. In which case they go into different parts of the Cantor set, and you can take a point here and look at Cantor set intersection this side and Cantor set intersection that side, the way we did with the rational numbers. And note that in this case, these two are open sets, they're disjoint, so A and B cannot be in the same component. So if you have a set with at least 2 points, it cannot be connected. It can always be written as a union of two open sets which are disjoint and cover the set. Okay, so the definition here is X is totally disconnected, like rational numbers and Cantor set. If every, well, I can say connected subset or connected component. Subset is a point. So we have this nice decomposition into connected sets, and incidentally this gives us another criterion which I am not writing down, but it's useful. If any 2 points are in a set are in the same connected component, then the whole set is connected. Or rather, given any 2 points, if we can find a connected set containing both of them, then the set space itself is connected. That's because, well, if the set has more than one connected components, you pick an element in different connected components, and they cannot be in a common connected set. So we see that we can either every pair of points can be connected, then the whole set can be connected. The other extreme is totally disconnected, where every point is a component. There is no connected set that is bigger than a point.